Ho!
Hello! Happy New Year,
Happy New Year,
everybody.
everybody.
How's it going, guys? It is welcome back to Thundercats Cats Lair. I'm Jay, and of course, that is my good friend JP. What's going on, JP? Happy New
What's
Year to
going
you
on,
too,
man?
brother.
Same to you, dude. Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's been a year since we last spoke.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it?
Yeah, dude.
Oh man, that's quite the. You guys gonna have to excuse me. I'm still getting over the flu. Man, I was actually out for 4 days, JP.
Dude.
Like 3 of those days was in bed,
hmm
and it was pretty crazy. How about you? Did you guys, any of the family, get stuck with that crazy flu that's been going around?
Dude, same shit happened to me on the 23rd. Out of nowhere, I came down with some crazy symptoms, and I was pretty much Noche Buena the 24th, 25th, and then like on the 26th in the morning is when I was finally starting to recover. I had like body aches, and I just had like this headache that wouldn't go away. And it's weird because my daughter had different symptoms. She had more like fever, and she had like a really bad throat infection. She didn't want to eat. Um, Thankfully, I didn't get any of that. I just got like a really bad headache and just body aches. But it just hit me like a like a steamroller, dude. It was crazy.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I was very much the same situation. Just completely bedridden. It's funny because you say that because yeah, it started Christmas at the day after Christmas actually. It was the day after Christmas, and I was out and about with my brother,
Mhm.
and it's cold here. It's very cold. I think that day was like minus 8,
Okay.
and it's like minus 15 with the wind chill, and Celsius, by the way. And yeah, every time I would breathe in, I felt this sharp pain in my in my chest. And as soon as I felt that, I was like, oh yeah, something's coming. Because
Shit.
as soon as something like that happens, you know that that's not normal, right?
Yeah.
So I went out on my day, but after I got back to the house, I was like, Ma, I can't stay. There's no way, right? And she was really disappointed because we were supposed to spend the day together, but I went straight home, and as soon as I got here, I literally just like first I crashed on the couch, and then Corey was like, "You should go to bed." And I was like, "Holy fuck, maybe I should." And I went straight to bed, and I did not. No one saw me for 2 days. It was crazy, bro.
Wow,
It was
dude.
freaking crazy. It was nuts. So yeah, I was. I had like you said, I had a headache. I had
Uh-huh.
um, I had like congestion in my chest. My throat was just like I was coughing all the time. I'm still coughing now. You know what I mean? Like even even like 7 6 7 days later, it's still here. It's crazy. It's absolutely nuts.
Dude.
But you know, thank goodness, nothing more serious than that. But I'm glad to hear that your family, like you're obviously much better, and I'm glad to hear that everyone else is on the mend, right? And we're all back on our feet, man. You know what I mean? It's a new year, so that's what we really got to look forward to. We had some great stuff in 2026. I mean, you got that amazing sword behind you. You know what I mean? What a great Christmas present right at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
had that under the tree, right? So many great things. We got Safari Joe, we got the Berserker, Cruncher, you know what I mean? Nada, and so many other great figures too that we were able to get right at the end of the year. But it wasn't all roses and sunshine, JP. Super Seven closed its doors officially on their brick and mortar in on just 2 days ago, on
Yeah.
January 31st. Their San Francisco and San Diego locations closed permanently. That was an end of an era, man. Like, did you ever get a chance to? That you must have visited when we were in San Diego. Did you have a chance to
I
walk down
walked by the store, but every time I was there for the convention or whatever, I had like there was some sort of pop-up or something, and I literally couldn't get inside the store. So I was never able to actually walk physically into the store.
Um, that's really too bad. But you did see the exterior. You got a few pictures and
Yeah,
stuff. So at least
yeah,
you were
yeah.
there. You know what I mean? And the inside's actually quite small, because their showroom is just a small unit in the front. Most of their stuff is just
Right.
like a warehouse in the back, right? So what you would see there is like I've done a couple tours of the Super Seven store in San Diego. It's mostly apparel. They have like T-shirts on the walls. They have a lot of knickknacks, like little keychains and things like that. But the really cool thing is they have a full Battle Cat mounted head. I think they took it down a couple of years ago. But the one of the biggest things that I loved is they actually had Battle Cat's head with the Battle Cat helmet, and it
Oh,
was like
cool.
mounted like a trophy. It was hilarious. So they had that on the background and a whole bunch of other things. And in the center, oftentimes they would show some of their bigger play sets and figures. Like the last time I was there, they had Tiamat on display with all the Dungeons and Dragons figures, so it was really really cool. And I hope everyone was able to everyone who could was able to visit the location before it closed down, as it really is one of those places that you have to see to believe. It really is.
Yeah.
Um, so
Okay.
hey, Happy New Year. Hi. So yeah, JP. If you want to get that for a sec, I'll keep talking a little bit. Do you want to
No,
just
it's cool. Mommy, just take the bag outside. Go. Honey,
So
take the bag outside.
obviously we all have we
Take the
were all
bag.
celebrating with family and friends, and JP's still with his family, which is awesome.
Yeah,
She's
no,
doing
it
better.
was yeah, she's doing much better. Thankfully, she's the first one that got sick, and she got but mommy. Yeah, honey, go. Close the door. Close the door, honey.
It's
So
always going to start with the kids.
she was the first one that came down with stuff, and
Yeah,
it actually lingered much longer for her because I guess she had such a bad infection in her throat that we really struggled to get her to eat. Like she would eat like three
yeah,
nibbles, and then it was like she would start crying, and it was like things that she loved to eat. We were trying to give her anything, pizza, ice cream, whatever. She didn't want anything.
yeah.
Um,
That's always scary.
and
Yeah,
little by little, giving her honey and lemon, it started soothing
yep,
her throat, and then she finally started eating. But we were
yeah.
worried for a while because we didn't have medical insurance. We had to wait for January 1st for the insurance to kick in. So it was a little scary at times, but thankfully we got through everything, and New Year's was fine.
Hey, you know what? It's all about making sure the family is good and safe. And I'm glad she's looking much better now. She's looking very very
Yeah,
happy and healthy. So great stuff.
yeah, she is definitely
All right.
for sure.
So we got a lot to talk about, JP. Some things which looking forward to 2026. But let's do a quick
A lot.
jump. Yeah, exactly. Let's do a quick jump back to 2025 and talk a little bit about a few things which we really, a little bit of a rewind,
Recap.
and just
Yeah.
talk about a few of our favorite things that we were able to get or during 2025. But just before we get to that, let's say hi to the chat. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
Happy New Year to everybody out there. You guys are always the best. Thanks for hanging out with us here. But actually, before we do that, JP, do you want to say hi to all the followers and viewers on the Instagram page?
Yeah, no, thanks for tuning in, guys. As I've said this before a lot, is you're going to have to start following us here on YouTube. This is probably one of the last times I'll be simulcast streaming on Instagram because the party is here at YouTube. Really, like if you want to participate on the giveaways and all that stuff, make sure to let your friends know to subscribe to Thundercats Lair on YouTube now. We've got a big giveaway planned for next week, and we're going to reveal the prizes today. And the only way to win is if you're on the live stream next week. So, para todos los siguientes en Latinoamérica, muchas gracias por sintonizar hoy. Quizás esta sea la última vez que hagamos esto en vivo en Instagram también, porque lo que estamos tratando de atraer a ustedes a que suscriban al canal de YouTube de Thundercats Slayer. Hoy vamos a estar revelando muchos de los premios que vamos a estar regalando en un sorteo la semana que viene, pero para poder ganar y poder participar, para calificar, van a tener que suscribirse al canal de YouTube y estar en el en vivo en YouTube la semana que viene para poder ganar los premios.
Happy New Year to everybody! Thank you guys again for joining us. Looking forward to a great show. Frankie Rivera's in the house. Thundercats ho! Thank you,
Rivera. What's up, buddy? Happy New Year,
Good to
man.
see you, brother. Clint Jorgensen. 2026 will be the year of the Thundercats. 2025 was supposed to be the year of the Thundercats, but 2026 we'll have to do. Yeah, we're looking forward to everything that's happening in Thundercats. I was sick 2 days after Christmas with body aches and headaches and congestion. I'm better now. Thank goodness, Frankie. Good to see you, brother. I'm glad you're back on your feet.
Yeah, it was going around hardcore.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. J Mac, Happy New Year, guys. Hope it's a great one for everybody. Yes, thank you very much, J Mac. Good to see you. Eldrick.
Thank you, J Mac.
Sorry, Eric Delquist. Good to see you, brother. Happy New Year to you too.
Happy New Year, dude.
Ryan Ventek. Guys who look like Brian Flynn. Some guy who looked like Brian Flynn tried to break into my house over Christmas Eve last night. I phoned the cops and his silly red suited butt was hauled away. All right, brother. I got you. Travis is in the house. Mr. Wonderful. What's going on, Travis? Good to see you, brother. Always good to see Travis in the house. J-Mac, I might as well have been trying to give you all the extra Ultimates figures they could sell at Ross. They had a huge clearance. 60% off. It was pretty crazy. It was a massive clearance. And thanks to our good friend Mike of Attorney Royalty, I was able to finally snag Mandora Evil Chaser because my original Mandora shipment got lost in the mail. So I'm super happy that I'm finally going to be able to get Mandora Evil Chaser. I've been waiting for that one for such a long time. Vincent Lai, what's going on, bro? Good to see you. Happy New Year to you. EC Films, Zed. Me voy
a subscribe. He's going to subscribe. Okay, man.
Appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much.
Gracias.
EC also says
República. He's from the Dominican Republic.
Wow.
And he grew up watching Thundercats. That's increíble. Súper bien. S Films 5868. Gracias por el apoyo.
Yeah, it's incredible how far-reaching Thundercats is, and we are so humbled and grateful for that.
Absolutely, man.
Alexander Valdez, Happy New Year to my friends and fellow fandom. Huge shout out to you, Alex. Thank you so much for always supporting the channel.
Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year to you too. And SA, what's going on, brother? Happy New Year from Miami, dude. Thank you so much.
What's up, man?
Good to see
it's
you.
It's another 305 brethren.
There you go. Not too far away. And Stephen Rothy, what's going on, bro? Happy New Year for everybody. Yes, Happy New Year to you too. All right, let's talk a little bit about some big news. First and foremost. Oh, wait, one last one from EC.
Mi nombre es Eddie Concepcion. All right, Eddie. Nice to meet you.
What's going on, Eddie? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for everything. Okay, so first of all, one of the biggest takeaways from last year was the fact that the Thundercats Classics channel hit an incredible milestone, 100,000 subscribers last year. Freaking incredible. Once again, huge shout out and congratulations to our good brother, JP of Thundercats Classics. JP, what was it like to hit 100,000 subscribers, brother?
Dude, it was crazy, because there was a point where literally I was keeping track and it was like I was gaining like 200 or 300 subscribers per day. I don't know what happened, but it just keep growing and growing and growing, and it's challenging, because it's so niche. You know what I'm saying? Because for example, a lot of our friends, like Mad Hatter, Geek Dad, you're all over the spectrum. You guys cover every toy line, every fandom. I'm focusing on one IP, so to constantly keep the feed fresh and keep new content, it's challenging at times, whether it's coming up with some cool new concepts for a reel or a video or, some type of discussion or poll. I try to keep it as fresh as possible, as often as possible. And I guess I've been doing a pretty good job because people keep subscribing, so that's really awesome. And I'm very excited for what's coming this year.
100%. But of course, the thing about niching down is that you really have you know brought together such a huge community of Thundercats fans, and that really is something that is galvanizing for the community, and we really appreciate everything that you bring to the community, JP. So once again, congratulations to Thundercats Classics, now at 113,000 subscribers, guys. Keep subscribing, keep sharing, keep liking, and huge shout out to everybody out there who's subscribed to Thundercats Classics. But don't forget, we are here on YouTube with these continual discussions, live streams, and we hope to see you guys here. So thanks again, guys.
That's right.
But on that, it truly was a year of Thundercats. I mean, so many things were coming out, so many wonderful, incredible things. As a matter of fact, one of the very first things that came was the Cat's Lair. The Cat's Lair was one of the very
first release of 2025. Yes,
one of the first things to arrive for Thundercats, and it literally blew people's minds. It blew people's minds away. JP, what was it like receiving your Cat's Lair for the very first time?
Dude, I mean, we got to see this firsthand, you and I, at PowerCon, and I remember when I first laid eyes on this thing at the Super 7 booth. I was just blown away at the mass scale of this thing, and just anticipating that thing's arrival. And when it finally got here, having this freaking dishwasher sized box, when I brought it up the stairs, my wife is like, "What the hell is this thing?" And it was just an amazing feeling. Obviously we did have the hiccup with the shipment issues and the damage, but when all is said and done, we had these fantastic grill playsets that I think, never in my wildest dreams did I think I would own something so massive like that from Thundercats IP. And like I said before, because of space constraints, I actually have my Cat's Lair on display on the floor in my loft/office at work. And, I'm constantly messing around, putting characters in different patterns and doing different scenes and stuff. Throw myself on the floor like a little kid and relive those 8-year-old moments, man, and just play with these figures and just forget about all the crap in the world right now and just kind of like lose myself in this immersive giant playset that is the Cat's Lair. And super kudos to Brian Flynn and everybody that was involved in the production and creation and design of such an amazing overtaking of a collectible, man. This thing is just incredible. And for those who are unfortunate to not, either they couldn't afford it or they just couldn't find the space to display this thing, you just don't know what you're missing. This is just such an incredible majestic piece of plastic that I don't think it can really be surpassed. Of course, I'm being biased because I'm a Thundercats guy. There's beautiful playsets out there. There's the Snake Mountain. There's Grayskull, but the functionality of this playset, the dual sides, the fact that you can add on to the back and expand your play area. I mean, it's just such an amazing playset, dude.
This in many ways, and not more ways than one, this has always been my holy grail. This has been my toy grail of all time. I've always wanted a Rankin and Bass style Thundercats Cat's Lair, which is no coincidence why this channel is called Cat's Lair. This literally is the embodiment of everything I've always wanted as a playset, and it is the mother of playsets. This thing dwarfs any other playset out there. You guys have and as JP said, it is unfortunate that not everyone could get this. I was getting this by hook or crook. I had to figure something out. There was just no way I was missing out on this playset. This needed to be in my collection. Number one, I never had the original El Jam playset. I've always wanted one. Now it's just they're unobtainable. I mean, they cost as much as this thing now. You know what I mean? If in some cases in a box, even more, even way more. So
Yeah.
the fact that we actually have this now in hand as a reality, like everyone like there are going to be some naysayers. There are going to be some people detractors from Super 7 in general, but also people who just don't like the practices of Super 7. But the reality is and I keep telling people this. Super 7 is bringing us the collectibles that we want, right? And they're the only ones really doing that. Like
Yeah.
everyone had dropped Thundercats, right? Mattel tried it. Bandai tried it 3 times. Like no one could do it right. No one could do it right. And you have to really give it to Super 7 for just. I mean, they have done what no one else could do. They brought out almost every mainline figure that you could imagine. There are a few outliers. There's still Driller is missing. There's still a few other figures which are definitely on the checklist. As a matter of fact, Thundercats Classics has a whole checklist on their Instagram page. If anybody's been following, so yeah, we could go on forever about that. But this truly was an incredible dream come true. When it was announced, JP, we lost our collective minds back in 2024. I mean, we were losing it. No, 2023.
I remember we were speculating. Remember, you were doing your Photoshop magic. We were trying to figure out the scale of this thing.
Yeah.
We were trying to find out, like, was it an ultimate scale thing? Was it a reaction type thing? It was so exciting, man.
It was a great time. It was like being a kid again. It was incredible. And it didn't quite make it for Christmas, but it made it for New Year's. Thundercats Cat's Lair actually made it to people's hands very early in the year. And that was literally the first, one of the best things that arrived for Thundercats in 2025. It was incredibly epic. But it was followed up by so many other things that were extremely exciting. But definitely it was one of the biggest highlights for the year, 100%, especially in our opinion. Again, just reminding, Thundercats Classics did hit 100,000 subscribers. What a freaking milestone! That was absolutely bonkers. But there were so many other things to talk about, especially around the same time. People started receiving the Thundercats. Okay, this is one of those 3D AI things, but people started receiving their Linos in 2026 from Mondo, and
yes,
this thing was just. I mean, I really could not describe what this was. This thing was just absolutely monstrous in its overall size and appearance. And then additional Thundercats were announced as well for Wave 2, and that really blew our minds. JP, what are your thoughts about the Mondo collection for the Thundercats Mondoverse?
Dude, I'm so enamored and in love with this new Mondo verse style of Thundercats. I know that there's a lot of people that are married to that cartoon Rankum Bass 100%, look, but there's no shadow of a doubt that these are Thundercats. That's Lino, that's Chitara, that's Mumra. Like, there are slight modifications in the armor. There's the fur texture on the body with Lino and stuff like that, but there is no doubt that these things are, Thundercats figures, and they look amazing. And you own the Lino. I just recently got the Mumra, and they're just incredible, man. You got to have them in your hand to really appreciate the value, because you look at Super 7 and they've achieved so much. Brian and his team have done an amazing job building this universe, this collectible world of Thundercats for collectors, as far as with their Ultimates line, with the play sets, with the vehicles, all this stuff. But what Mondo's doing is, it's a whole other level. I want to say it's almost kind of like, it's like big boys toys, like definitely this is not something you're going to buy your 6 or 7 year old to collect, but it's definitely more aimed at adult collectors. It's more high end, and it's just I don't know. I see these figures, man, and I completely can sit down, close my eyes, and envision them in a feature film. A live action feature film or CGI slash live action type of film. That's how awesomely detailed and creative these designs are. And they stay very true to the original characters, where they preserve a lot of there's specific iconography. For example, Lionel's wild mane of hair blowing in the wind. Mumra's sheer scale, the majestic size, his muscles, his proportions, his cape. Chitara, she's not out yet. I don't know if this is final or this is like, close to final, but she's gonna come with a bear bill, with Robert bill, and she's gonna come with a bunch of effects and stuff. I'm very much anticipating the official pre-order for this, which I believe is gonna happen sometime this month. Mondo is going to be doing, their live streams as they always do weekly. So can't wait to see what their launch campaign and scheduling is. But I'm pretty sure Chitara is coming a lot sooner than later because she was originally slated for fourth quarter of 2025. So 2026 is going to be like set off with a big bang as far as with Chitara and other stuff that Mondo's working on, and as well as another IP that's in the Rankin Bass universe, but we know for a fact that these creatures are finally coming out of the depths of the ocean. We're getting tiger sharks, wave 1, very very soon. So that's something to really get amped up about, and it's really kind of like launching 2026 in a big way for collectors. So let's go and see.
So guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back with you guys.
No worries.
JP, why don't you bring up a new screen to show people for some things that you that were your favorites for this year?
Yeah. All right. So let's see. First and foremost, let me go over here. So we got Lionel from Thundera. Hey, Lionel is joining us in the chat. What's up, Lionel? We got Ryan Vectech, Nightmare Snarf. I don't know, man. A lot of people say Snarf is scary. I don't feel that way. Happy New Year, BGT 144, I believe. Happy New Year, JP, Mega J, and all from Eternia, from our world to yours. And now we're finally getting tiger sharks. Yes. Alex Valdez. Yes, we are. Snarf of Thundera is joining us. Did someone say snarf? Snarf, snarf. Happy New Year, snarf, snarf, snarf. Forgive my, I'm not the best with voiceovers. Mega J does that a lot better. Negative Sight. Happy New Year, my fellow Thunderians. If Mondo did a 112 scale line like they are doing 2000X, I'd be fully in. But size and price is something I can't do. Totally understandable. Like I said, it's not something that'll fit everyone's budget, but Mondo's doing the Lord's work over there. And trust me when I say they are absolutely interested in approaching Thundercats in 112. It's just a matter of that opportunity opening up, Warner Brothers being open to that. I think it can happen. I don't know if Super 7 has to be involved in those negotiations. I don't know the specifics of it, but it's definitely something that they would like to pursue. Tiger Sharks has some beautiful designs. Very much looking forward to it. Absolutely, man. And BGT 14. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so as far as other things that I was excited for in 2025, I mean, obviously, the arrival, it was towards the end of the year, but the arrival of Mumra, the ever living, was such like a fantastic thing, just seeing that figure, taking him out of the package. I did a live stream for you guys to see, the unboxing and the whole experience. And let's see here. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open Instagram. So I cannot share Instagram live because I'm simulcasting here on Instagram as well. But let me just go to Mondo and show you guys Mumra, because to this day there's still people that ask me about the Mumra and where can they get it, and I'm like, wow, it's crazy to think that some people still don't know about the existence of this thing. And let me go back and share that screen. So here is Mumra. These are obviously the initial. Hold on, let's see here. Trying to figure out a way to. There we go. Perfect. So here's the Mumra figure. Um, I have him put away in my courier right now. If not, I would bring him out and show you guys. But on the last live stream, I did bring him out. I showed you guys how big this thing is, how awesome this thing is. And, it's just an amazing uh, figure. It's just so incredible. The scale of it, the the proportions, the detail. I'm gonna be scrolling here. Like here, right here, this picture, it really shows you how much amazingness comes with this figure. Now, the figure clocks in at about 13 inches in height. Okay. He's much bigger than Lionel, as he should be, based on the cartoons. And if you see here, basically all right. So if you see here, I'm going to zoom in so you guys could see more detail. So he brings his regular crown, and then he has 5 different head portraits. Now, he has 2 head portraits, these right here, which are the regular Mumra, but then he has this head portrait, which is supposed to depict Mumra the All Powerful. That was from one episode in Thundercats from the cartoons in the 80s. It was an episode called The Last Day. In that episode, out of desperation, Mumra asks the ancient spirits of evil to grant him one final burst of power to give him the most powerful ever that he could receive. And he becomes like a 30-foot tall, gigantic Mumra, and he lays devastation and waste on Third Earth. And this particular head is a depiction of that Mumra the All Powerful, as well as this crown with the larger snakes. It's also homage to that particular episode. Then the rocky, kind of like thing looking kind of interesting head portrait is based on when he is vanquished as Mumra the All Powerful, where he basically starts turning into stone and then he just crumbles away into nothingness. So the fact that they added all this kind of detail not only gave us a Mumra the Ever Living based on the Rankin Bass cartoons, but also a Mumra the All Powerful which can coexist with your Super 7 toy line, because technically there is no Mumra the all-powerful figure from Super 7, and you can have this towering, humongous Mondo piece displayed alongside your Thundercats playset because it actually happened in the cartoons. It's canon. While yeah, he's a lot more detailed and stuff like that, but it's still kind of, it gives you an excuse to say, hey, I can at least buy this Mondo Mumra because he can coexist within my Super 7 collection. I do not foresee Super 7 doing a Mumra the All Powerful anytime soon, even though they've done mega scale figures. But I just don't feel like that's something that they are pursuing anytime soon. So if you want to have a Mumra the All Powerful, this is the one to pick up. It's the Mondo version. Now, having said that, this is the timed edition. So Mumra has a tradition of when they release a figure, they do what's called the timed edition. So in this case, I believe Mumra was available for an entire month. So you had 30 days to secure your pre-order, and that would guarantee you everything that's seen here. All the alternate head portraits, the alternate helmets. Um, Also wanted to mention this head is permanently attached to the helmet. So if you wanted to have him wearing the binoculars or goggles or whatever, that head is permanently glued to the helmet. But that makes a fifth head portrait. So all in all, you had 5 different heads all together with this figure. You had the sphere that's and also an episode specific accessory, and of course his trusted best friend Mamut, and he comes with 2 alternate head portraits that you can swap out. He's got this more like tame, angered face, and then he's got this like really raving, angry um, Mamut with the steam coming out of his mouth and stuff like that. That was an awesome addition to this set. You know, soft goods, wired, sewn along the seams of the cape. All the bandages have actual wiring, so you can pose the bandages, you know, in whichever way you want alongside the figure. And then look at all the alternate hands. Aside from having 2 closed fists, he had these 2 kind of grasping hands, 2 holding hands to hold the different types of weapons that he comes with, 2 clawing hands, and then this really awesome, which is the one that I'm using right now on my display, is this kind of like emanating orb of power that's sitting in his palm, uh, alternate hand. Now he brings the Sword of Plundar in his regular form, and then it also brings a powered up version of the Sword of Plundar, which is fantastic. The way it works is the handle is one singular piece that slides through the hand, and then you just attach the 2 ends. If you want to have the powered up version, you attach the powered up pieces. If you want to have the regular version, you attach those pieces. Then he also has the dagger and the sword, and those are homages to the LJN toy version of Mumra that came out in the 80s. So all this came with the timed edition. Now, having said that, there is most likely going to be a regular edition. Here is a turnaround that shows you the figure from all different angles. It's just such a majestic piece, just an incredible figure. And here he is without his cape, so you can see the physicality, the anatomy on this figure. Amazing work. Here is a scale. It's actually 14 inches tall from the bottom of the feet to the top of the crest on the crown. So it's just an amazing figure. Here's some really amazing photo shots from Raul Barrero. He is doing God's work as far as photographing Mondo's collectibles, and he's also a huge Master of the Universe fan, and he's been doing a lot of toy photography on his own of like Origins figures and Master of the Universe, Masterverse figures as well. If you don't follow him, you got to follow him. His visuals are incredible, and all these scenes that you see in the back, they are hand built by him. He does the dioramas as well. He doesn't do any AI. He doesn't do any Photoshop. He does all this stuff organically with his camera and lighting and talent. Here's an awesome image of Mumra fighting Lion-O. It's really awesome how he's wrapping the bandages around the blade of the Sword of Omens. Here's a nice shot of Mamut. Here is the sphere of Seti in Mumra's hand. Here's fighting Lion-O, Mamut. That's an awesome shot because it looks like Mamut is really pissed off and he's ready to take on Lion-O, but we know who will win that battle. Here's another awesome shot of Lion-O facing off with Mumra. Look at the detail. That's the vanquished head portrait for the Mumra the All-Powerful from the final scene of the last day. Another awesome shot. There's so much amazing. Look at this shot. This shot is so incredible. And when you think about the fact that Mumra is 14 inches tall, imagine the ancient spirits of evil that are here, as well as the tomb face and the sarcophagus. All these things are so massive, and they were all handmade by Raul for this photo shoot for Mondo. Just amazing. There's that awesome hand that I was talking about, holding the orb with power. Just such an incredible piece. Thank you as always for supplying this haven for Thundercats fans. Happy New Year all. Thank you, Jordan from Canada. What's up, buddy? Happy New Year, man. Doesn't Ted Wolf have any control on new releases or how the new figures look like the creator who shares ownership with Warner Brothers? Steven Theater 6335. I hate to say this, man, but is Ted Wolf actually alive? If he is, fantastic. I didn't know if Ted Wolf was around. Jay, is Ted Wolf alive?
Ted Wolf? That is good. I'll look it up. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I would highly doubt it somehow, but who knows? Let me see. Ryan VTech says, I just earned the Mondo Mumra for Mamut. Oh, he just wants the Mondo Mumra. Really? I'd rather have the Iron Studios. Iron Studios, I own most of them. They're beautiful pieces. But there's one thing that I've always had this argument with other collectors is just that as much as I appreciate and I enjoy statues visually, I would take a 1/6 scale figure or a Ultimate 7-inch scale figure over a statue any day. For one, statues are super expensive. They're polystone and they're really expensive. If you don't get them right out the gate, they get super expensive. Like right now, I'm missing Tigra and Panthro from Iron Studios, and they're fetching like upwards of 200 something each. I'm missing Chitara as well, but I have Slide, I have Monkey, and I have Mumra, the Ever Living. I have the first edition Lion-O that came with Snarf on top of the head of the Cat's Lair, and then I also have the updated Snarf Lion-O in the battle pose from Iron Studios, but I'm missing all the main Thundercats from the original release, and they're really, really expensive and hard to acquire.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I prefer. Yeah, no, it's just beautiful, dude. You don't know how many premium formats I've owned in the past from like Sideshow and stuff, and I've always ended up parting ways with them because they take up so much space, and they're always going to be in that one pose forever. I'd rather like be able to manipulate my figure and change its presence and look ever so often. You know what I mean? That's 100%. Just my thing.
Yeah, no. It's not wrong. That you're. That I think a lot of people believe that way. But they are extremely expensive. Extremely. They take up a lot of room, as you said, and oftentimes you end up parting with them. I mean, that's because again, after a while you get bored of it too. Truthfully, you know what I mean. But they are gorgeous in their own way. If you if you had a big house, it would make more sense. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the way it was. But most of us don't have big houses. Ted Wolf
No.
passed in 1999 in Honolulu,
Oh
Hawaii.
wow, yeah, it's
So
been a
yeah,
while. Yeah.
yeah.
But
But
yeah,
was there a
man,
reason why? Was there a reason why?
This Mumra was one of like the quintessential pieces for me for 2025, even though he came out right at the end. But it's just like right there behind Cat Slayer. Cat Slayer's number one, Mumra definitely the number two Thundercats collectible that I received this year.
For the Mondo edition.
Well, in Thundercats in general, what were your favorite releases aside from Cat Slayer for 2025, dude?
Truthfully, in terms of it's just the overall stature, it has to be the Cat Slayer number one.
Yep.
But I have to admit, coming in literally right at the end of the year, the Thundercats Sword of Omens from Trick or Treat Studios, it is by far and away, the most accurate replica of a Thundercats prop that I have seen to date. We saw that we saw what you and I actually, coming to it when we were at San Diego, right? We actually saw some wonderful pieces that were coming soon, like this one here, the Sword of Omens and the Claw Shield, right? And a lot of these companies are trying to, get accurate replicas going, but in terms of its overall look, they look great. But in terms of its level of detail and accuracy, so far, right now, I have not seen anything nearly as accurate as the Trick or Treat Studios for the Sword of Omens.
No,
It's an absolute
absolutely.
triumph of a collectible, and I'm super glad and happy that we were able to get ours, JP, because they sold out within the first 3 days. You know what I mean? It was so fast. It was crazy,
Yeah,
and I don't
lightning
know when they're going
fast.
to come back in stock. If they're going to come back in stock, you know what I mean? Um, have you had any luck reaching out to Trick or Treat to see if they'll be doing a reissue?
You know, I spoke to Trick or Treat through DM, whoever they had there, their PR person, and it's really been really difficult to get a hold of that person. They actually told me they were going to send me a sword, and then the last time I spoke to them was like in November, end of November, and they were like they're actually in the warehouse any day now. And then that person just ghosted me. So I'm gonna follow up because I still need to get a second one because I want to keep one in the box and keep it, mounted up there as a trophy piece in my collection. So I have to snatch up a second one. I
Yeah,
gotta hit up some people to see if anybody was able to, purchase maybe like bulk, like 4 or 5, and they might have one that they're willing to let go of.
yeah. I couldn't take the chance. I picked up two right away. Um, this was. I knew that this one would not last. I knew that as soon as they put these up, as soon as you told me, JP. And by the way, guys, if you want the up to date information for the newest Thundercats merchandise, you definitely have to follow Thundercats Classics, and of course us here at Thundercats Cast Lair. I knew it was going to go. I knew it 100%. I had no doubt, and I was like, no, no, no. I got to get two of these. There's just no way I'm passing this up. So I'm glad you got one of them, JP, and I'm hoping that that you will be able to secure a second one. It's my thinking that maybe they were short shipped, and that's why they had to not make any promises to you to get one out to you. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
it's just unfortunate that way. Um, but no matter what, it is an incredible piece, bar none. Um, Mumra, of course, I didn't get him. Unfortunately, it was one of those things where I had to decide, on several different figures from Mondo, which one I was going to get, and unfortunately, I had to pass up on Mumra. I'm hoping one day that he'll come back around. Maybe there'll be a regular release. It would suck because I really want that Mamat, and I know that with a regular release, Mamat is not going to be included. So
Yeah.
it really is an unfortunate situation on that level. But yeah, your coverage of it has just been inspiring. I mean, look at the size difference of the. This is your Mumra, and you put
Yeah.
the Super 7
Ultimate.
Mumra right beside him,
Yeah.
and right on top of him. And And Super 7's Mumra is no midget, man. This thing,
No,
he's
no,
massive.
he's
He's
big.
massive. It's
I can
crazy.
actually say that the Mumra from Super 7 is a little more accurate in the height proportion to Lion-O from the cartoons than Mondo's Mumra. I believe that if Mondo would have made Mumra at the same scale as Super 7 did, in comparison to Lion-O, Mumra would be
He'd be a monster.
about 16 to 17 inches tall.
Yeah, he'd be a monster. He would be an
Yeah.
absolute monster.
I mean,
I don't
he
think.
is a monster already, but he would
Yeah,
be like a
but he would be
plus
a real
one.
like a freaking a crazy monster, right?
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy to think how much. But where does this stop, right? Like where do you have to unfortunately figure that one out? It's crazy. One of the other things that was really interesting was that Wily Kit and Wily Cat actually got reissued in 2025 as well, because a lot of people missed out on Wily Kit and Wily Cat. JP, I thought that was a really good move by Super 7 to be able to
Yeah.
reissue these two, because I missed out. I missed out on. I didn't miss out, but on Wily Cat. But Wily Kit was like, wow, she freaking disappeared, and she is like, up until the point where they reissued her, her prices on the aftermarket were insane, freaking sane. I
Yeah.
think people were asking for $200 for her at one point. It was ludicrous, absolutely nuts. And then here they are with Mongor. Was this your photo, JP, or was this a Shin
No, no,
Dan Rod?
no. Yeah.
Good stuff, just great,
Awesome picture.
just incredible. I love the creativity that's coming from.
And we had a conversation with Brian right around
We
the end
did.
of the year, which was really exciting because, it's been a while since I've been wanting to catch up with Brian, and it was a really good, Q&A with him.
It was great.
We got into the nitty gritty with a lot of stuff, and we had some, pretty interesting questions that were addressed during the stream. It was a really awesome stream, man.
It was. It was very informative. Of course, Brian is always a class act, and he gave us a little bit more tidbits that we didn't realize. Little information that we were very very excited for. And yeah, it was really good to catch up with him. And unfortunately, the brick and mortar locations are gone, but Super 7 continues, so we can at least
Yeah.
look forward to that. So great stuff. And then rounding out the year, we got some really cool stuff just finally delivered to us. You were able to pick up this incredible incredible example of a loose snowman of Hook Mountain. And what was it like finding this guy in the wild, JP?
Man, it was amazing because usually when you see vintage figures, they're either like ludicrously priced or they're like missing all sorts of parts and still ludicrously priced and just have a lot of paint damage and scuffs. Because I mean, come on, in the 80s, it was all about grabbing these toys and playing and just exploring our imagination and just going out there in the backyards and in the park and taking your toys and scuffing them up. And so it was really hard for you to come across a figure that was so well preserved like this. And I mean, you can see the picture. It's just I can't believe how good of a condition this figure is. I think it's very hard to beat anything that surpasses the quality of this snowman. You know?
Just by what you see here, you can see a small scuff on his right hand shoulder, but that was pretty much the extent of what it is. He looks minty fresh, and maybe there's a little bit discoloration on the helmet and stuff like that. But for the most part, absolutely wonderful find, JP. Congratulations on that. What another very early Christmas present for you. You know what I mean? Like I think you found him in November or something like that, right? So it was really
I
great.
got him like early December, right before Christmas.
Yeah, it was nuts. But then they started rolling in, JP. Safari Joe, Nada, and Cruncher. Um,
Yeah.
and it's not like they didn't come perfect though. Safari Joe has a few issues, um, mainly to do with his sleeves. His sleeves are a different color than his what's it called, his jacket. So that seems to
Yeah.
be an ongoing issue with all the Safari Joes. Mule is amazing. He's not just a statue. His arms do
Yeah.
move up and down, and his head rotates. Right. So great stuff on that. He also has a few swappable pieces. Right. Like he can hold the guns and stuff. Is that
Yeah. Yeah. He can actually, I mean, for the fact that, Safari Joe doesn't come with alternate hands and stuff like that, they really did the engineering in a way where he can actually hold the rifle, and he has not only the trigger hand to hold the rifle, but he also has the other hand that can actually hold the barrel. So it's perfect because it's the only two hands that he needed. It would have been awesome to have like a pointing hand and have some other gesturing kind of hands, but all in all, with the inclusion of Mule, I think I'm happy with what they decided to do as far as giving us Mule and less hands and stuff like that. But they still gave us the muzzle blast effect. They gave us the blaster rifle, and Mule himself is articulated. So yeah,
yeah?
he's a real banger, man. Real
He,
banger.
he comes with Chitara's binding bracelets, right? With that clasp onto the wrists and the ankles. Doesn't he come with those?
No,
No,
no.
no, I thought he did.
Safari Joe only brings Mule. He brings the rifle, and he brings the muzzle blast effect for the rifle.
Looks like he's got a knife though.
Yeah, he has a little small knife. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Still, great collection, great set, and huge shout out to Super Seven for getting that to us at the right at the tail end of the year, basically. Then there
Yep.
was also Nada and Cruncher, so it was pretty crazy. And now on to 2026, JP, and of course it's been mentioned a couple times. And on that, why don't we go ahead and take a few more comments from the chat because it's been a lot of people here. Thank you guys again for all the support. You guys are freaking awesome. All right, so we have wow. Thank you guys. Yeah, everybody's been chiming in. JMac, seeing it at PowerCon was actually mind blowing, dude. It was insane. It was insane. It was like even in my house, it just. I mean, it's right back there, right? It's right back
Yeah.
there. Just a point of the yeah. It is ridiculously. I mean, the fact that you can see it's all the way back there. You know what I mean? It's all
Yeah.
there's, and then you can see the thunder tank in front of it. You know what I mean? It's just crazy, right? But it is beyond words. It is beyond words. Just how crazy and large this thing is, and that's with it closed. When you open it up, it just becomes an entirely different beast. Entirely, it's crazy.
Yeah. For
Lionel from
sure.
Thundera, ho ho! Good to see you, Lionel. Always good to see you. Ryan Ventat, Nightmare Snarf. That was a big thing for a while. He's fine.
Yeah.
He looks great. When you have him in person, he looks freaking awesome. It's crazy. Happy New Year, BGTL. Good to see you, brother. Let's see here, Lino. Happy New Year, JP, Mega Jane, all from Eternia. From Eternia, from our worlds to yours. I think you mean Thundera.
Yeah.
I think you mean Thundera.
Lionel is in he's visiting Eternia right now because he's collaborating with Mattel.
That's right. He's fighting Skelra on the plains of Eternia. Alexander Valdez. Now we're finally getting Tiger Sharks. Yes, we're going to talk about that moving into 2026, which is very, very exciting. Snarf of Thundera. Did someone say snarf, snarf, snarf? Happy New Year, snarf, snarf, snarf. Happy New Year, buddy. Good to see you. Of course, that's Snarfer in your thumbnail, which is interesting. But good to see you, Snarf of Thundera. Negative sight. Happy New Year, my fellow Thunderians. If Mondo would did a 1/12 scale like they are doing with 2000X, I'd be in fully. But my size and price is something I can't do. I don't know, man. I think what they're doing with 1/12, but if Thundercats at 112 will be insane, but they would be competing directly with Super 7. I don't think that they have that license. I think Super 7 has that on lock. But yes, I have to admit. But I'll be honest with you, JP. What are your thoughts? Should they do a LJN accurate version if they go 112? Because they already have their Mondo versions in 1/6, right? So for them to recreate that in 112, I think it would be a waste. You know what I mean? Because what they're doing with Gargoyles, right? What they're doing with Gargoyles right now in 1/6 is insane, like completely cartoon accurate. It's
I would like. I think, man, it's. I don't know. What would you prefer? Would you prefer a Mondo verse 112 line, or would you prefer a Rankin Bass pure screen accurate line?
Here's what I would say. I'm not going to shy away from this one. I think I would like to see the 2009 versions of the Thundercats. To Mondo give it a shot. I think they could do some crazy things.
The Cartoon Network ones?
Yeah, with Cartoon Network Thundercats. I think they could do some crazy stuff with that. I think
I would love to see that. I mean, I know Super 7 is going to give us that pretty soon. We'll probably be seeing 2012 Lion-O and others pretty soon. But, you know, the way Mondo's doing the 2000X line, it's like it's screen accurate, but it's plussed up. So I think that's what I would like to see. I would like to see Rankin Bass inspired takes on the characters, but with added glam or accessories or features. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I got you.
enhanced Rankin Bass inspired figures.
Yeah, I think that would be neat for sure. JMX77, Tiger Sharks has some beautiful designs. Very much looking forward to it, dude. It's gonna be nuts. Super 7. Now that they don't have a lot of overhead anymore, I think that they can really put that into development, some R&D, and some production. I think it could be really, really cool. Warren Newman, what's going on, brother? Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a great Christmas, dude. It is already starting off as being something really great, really special. But those looming tariffs continue to plague us, so we'll see. We all have to suffer through them, right? Jordan for Canada, I love you, Snarf. I love you, Lionel. MJR and JP, thank you always for supplying this haven for Thundercats fans. Happy New Year. Happy New Year too, brother. Thank you so much for always being here, Jordan from Canada. Always good to see you, brother. Stephanie Heather Heather. I apologize. Can you how
I think it says Steven Theater 63.
Steven Theater. Yeah, there you go. Steven Theater 3655 6335. Doesn't Ted Wolf have any control over the release on how the new figures look? The creator who shares ownership with Warner Brothers. Ted Wolf did pass in 1999, so I think Warner Brothers has complete control now. Sadly,
yeah.
Ryan, if not Ted Wolf, then ask Teen. Ha ha. That's crazy. The cape is wrong. Wrong colors on the inside of the cape. I'm not.
Yeah, sure I know what he's talking about. He's talking about Mumra. The Mondo Mumra doesn't have the black inner liner. It was a creative decision by Mondo. At the end, Hector just decided to do it that way. I personally am taking on the task of looking for a seamstress that can actually sew the black liner on the inside of mine, because I think it adds a level of contrast that it just, I don't know, it makes the blue from Mumra's body and stuff, it pops more because you have that dark black in the background versus the red, you know? So
gotcha.
I really want to see that. So I'm going to find somebody that can actually tailor make that black liner for the inside of the cape.
Sweet. That would be awesome. Mumra, ooh, I look resplendent.
Resplendent.
Okay. What does that mean? I don't know that word. What does resplendent mean? I do not know that word. Or is it something you can't say here on camera?
It's a mumrism.
Oh, is it a mumrism? Okay. All right.
I guess.
Is that something he actually said on the show? That would be interesting. Negative site. My favorite this year, Safari Joe does it. Safari Joe does it again. I love that. Member of the Ever Living. JP and the other one. JP and the other one they call Mega J Retro. You once again honor me with this movable statue. This gesture to me will not be forgotten by my allies. I love it, Mumra. I love it. Lino, they would never work for you, Mumra. These are men of honor, something you know nothing about. No way. Mumra and Lionel are having a fight here. This is crazy. The real Skeletor. What's going on? I have Lionel. Passed on Mumra, though. I think I'll wait until they come out with a worthy cartoon version. Cool. Jay, you want to put together a vintage Eternia with me at AFCC? Sure. I would love to do that. That'll be freaking awesome, dude. Let's do it. It's going to be, we're going to need some more space. That'll be massive. Are you actually bringing that, Skeletor? That'll be sweet. Ryan, that's Mumra and Mini Ra. It does look like that, right? When you put them on top of each other, it does look like that. Amateur Hour, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. The Mezco Mumra is cool. Mezco Mumra? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Mezco did, long before Super 7, long before Matty Collector, Mezco had the license for Thundercats.
Really?
They did these mega scale. They're like 15 inches tall. They're rotocast figures. They made a Mumra. They made a Lion-O. They made Chitara, Panthro, and Tigra. They never made any mutants. But for the longest time, those were very sought after because nobody else was doing Thundercats. And then I still have most of them. I'm only missing Chitara, but she's going for like a pretty penny. But if you were to look at them, they were like the closest to the Rankin Bass universe and look back in the day. And for the longest time, people were thinking that Mezco was going to do Thundercats in the 112 collective line. But for some reason or whatever, I guess they felt like, the figures wouldn't work with soft goods and stuff like that. But
so this comes from Captain Toy. Cool. So this comes from Captain Toy. And is this the one? Is this the Mezco? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
He's actually bigger than the Mondo. A little bit taller. Yeah. But he doesn't move a lot. It's just a rotocast. So there's like a bulging shoulder. There's swivel wrists. Yeah, he doesn't move very well. And then they made some exclusive ones. They did a glow in the dark Mumra. They did a Lion-O that was a Comic-Con exclusive. I still have that one with glow in the dark eyes. And he came with, then they did a re-release of Lion-O that came with Snarf. The first Chitara came with Snarf, but then since Chitara was like short produced or whatever, they offered Snarf again with Lion-O as a repack. And the last one they ever made was Tigra.
Got you. Yeah, he's a lot bigger than because that's Titus from Classics, right?
Yeah.
So wow, yeah, he's pretty big. This guy's no slouch. All right, cool. I had no idea. I had no idea that Mumra had come out from Mezco, and looks like there was an exclusive.
Yes,
I guess it might have been SDCC exclusive Mumra.
That it was the Mummy,
the Ever Living, right? So that's cool.
It was like a 2-pack. Yeah, it came with the Ever Living and the Mummy version.
Crazy. That was a Comic-Con. It looks like it was a Comic-Con exclusive or something. Crazy. Yeah, cool stuff. All right, so insane. SA. How many would you need to complete Tiger Sharks? 6 waves or 4 figures? You know what? Believe it or not, Tiger Sharks actually went a full season. So there are actually quite a few figures. So it's going to be hard to see how. It's going to be interesting to see how many figure waves would have to go through. Negative site. Who would be down for concept Thundercat figures? I've seen some really cool ones. I've seen some anime design ones. I've seen some more modern takes on them. So yeah, it depends. I definitely Mondo would definitely be able to pull those ones off 100%. Scale Rob, that Mezco Mum Rod glows in the it glows in the dark. I did not know that. Really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And Essay, Mezco does excellent work. Their Dread line was incredible. Mezco is definitely down for any figures, and their Batmans, their Conan the Barbarians, the whole freaking line. Even their what's it called? Their Gomez stuff is just ridiculous. Their own IP, it's crazy. Unrated 3 Dynamite comic figures. Interesting, yeah. That design is very, 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 very cool. Which is right. Actually, this line has sort of got that Dynamite comic look. You know what I mean? He got those pants, right? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of comics continue to move forward and the designs.
Let me ask you something, Jay. What do you think as far as tiger sharks are concerned, right? Do you think Super 7 is going to offer us the pre-transformation versions of the characters, like before they become fish or amphibian-like creatures, or do you think they're just going to focus on their transformed versions?
There's a really that's crazy, right? That is actually pretty crazy. I'm not sure how they're going to pull that off because although their jumpsuits are similar in design to
It's a completely different thing.
It is a different look. Yeah. Overall, it's a different look. Will they try
like
to do
Mako? Mako's wearing like a surfer suit, long sleeve surfer suit, and when he turns into Mako, he's basically a shark. So it's a completely different figure. So I'm just curious, like, I'm thinking they're probably going to make their tiger shark forms first, and then if the line does well, eventually do their pre-transformation, more human-like renditions.
It definitely would have to be the hero tiger sharks, bar none. It has to be that way. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if they included the heads as bonuses. But no matter what, the skin color would be completely different, right? Because they go from a pink hue to like straight white in the charge
Right.
in the case of Mako, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if they did just to tease us. You know what I mean? It would be a smart move. But like you said, it's hard to it's hard to say how they would go about the final version. I do think that you're right. It probably will just go with the shark version of the actual tiger sharks version of them after they transform. But is that always a good idea? I'm not sure. It will. Time will tell when it finally comes out. But just like anything else, you definitely have to take into account that really people want the most heroic versions of these figures. You know what I mean? So I think that it definitely will start with that. And the real question at the end of the day will be what happens afterwards. Will they bother? Right, as you said, will there be more than enough sales to justify the human versions? I probably don't think so. You know what I mean?
Right.
I have a funny feeling, if anything, they might do a San Diego Comic-Con edition, right? But it's hard to say. It's a hard. It's really hard to say whether or not they're going to do that. But if all things being equal, I think that probably the smarter thing to do would definitely be removable heads and just sacrifice the skin tone in lieu of just practicality. You know what I mean? Because I can't see them.
T-Ray and Mako for sure. Wave 1, right?
Yeah, it would have to be. You need a villain. You need a villain, and you need. I think the way it's always been is like two heroes, one villain, right? I think that's what the way they've been going about it.
With Octavia one?
Sorry, what was that?
You think they'll surprise us with Octavia? in wave 1.
Oh, dude, I think that'll be too early. Although
Really?
she's amazing, right? She's an incredible character. Um, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think much like anything else, I think that female characters are hard sellers. I'm not gonna. I think that it's. I'm sorry to say it, but it is. I think that they don't sell nearly as well as the male hero characters, but yeah, it would be really cool to get Octavia on the first wave, but I don't think so. I think we'd definitely be getting her at second wave, very much like Chitara. Chitara didn't come out until the third
Right.
wave, right? Third or fourth wave. So it's just one of those things. As much as I would like to get them sooner rather than later, um, it's always a it's always a tough game with that one. But who's your wish list for the first two waves? Because obviously,
So I mean, for sure, Mako, for sure, T-Ray. I would love Doc Walro. The walrus student. He's so cool looking. Dolph, hopefully in wave 2. And but the monsters are really cool looking. For example, there's this one character. His name is Carper, and he's like a fish, kind of creature. There's just a lot of cool ones. If you look on Google, they have these lineups that show the villains and they show the heroes, and man, they look really cool. They would look like they would be some really awesome collectible figures, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, we definitely have what's it called? The main lineup, of course, and these are, of course, the human versions here, right? They were always really, really cool. And
there's Doc Walro. He's really cool. The one in the orange suit. He turns into a walrus.
He turns into a walrus.
I'd love to see him I'd love to see him in the first two waves. Octavia, Mako, T-Ray. If you pull up the villains, I think in that same search, there's a picture of the villains with Mako in the middle. They look so cool, man.
Okay, sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, one of the things about the designs for Tiger Sharks, they were they were out there, man. They were crazy.
Yeah.
And that was the most difficult part. That was the most difficult part about them in terms of making them into toys. There was no one model that you could actually use to really solidify the line. It was hard. They're all lanky. But you know what? LJN didn't have a problem with that. LJN just made weird designs all the time. It was crazy, right?
It almost looks like that picture there. It looks like you're looking at a character roster for a heavy metal animated cartoon.
Yeah, yeah. Which you probably were. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to say the least.
Yeah,
it is wild.
For sure.
It is wild as hell. And we have some. Obviously, it's closer than we think, because rumor has it, according to according to Entertainment Earth, there are a couple releases that are coming from Super 7. We have some reaction figures coming on January 5th. We have some plushes coming on January 6th. But then we have another plush release on January 19th. And then the big one for everybody right now is that on January 19th, there will be a Super 7 action figure release. And a lot of people are speculating that this will be the introduction to Tiger Sharks. So mark your calendars down.
It's very possible, because, Brian told us it was going to be in January. So I just want to make sure, confirm before I start advertising or telling anybody. I want to make sure that is in fact Tiger Sharks, because sometimes they could switch things around a little bit.
It could be another. It could be another Thundercats release. It could be. It could be a rap artist release. You know what I mean? It could be. So there's a lot of possibilities, right? Sorry, musician release. There's a lot of possibilities, but you know, a lot of people are hoping and dreaming that that this is the first indication of the tiger sharks. After all, Brian did tell us on our stream that the tiger sharks are coming, right? So
Yeah.
that's we can take that. Actually, looking at them again. See, here's the thing about this. I think the swappable heads are possible because if you look, the suits come all the way to their necks, so there's actually
Yeah.
there's no thing. You could swap out the hands, and it is possible. Where's a transformed version of the tiger sharks?
Oh
Let's
no,
see.
it's really different, dude. Like if you look at Mako, Mako is wearing kind of like a surfer suit, like a wetsuit.
Oh, I see
And
it. Yeah.
when he's
I
a
see it.
shark,
He's
there's no
completely transformed.
seams. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So
completely
it wouldn't
transformed.
work. I don't think it would work.
Yeah, I see. I see what here they are.
It'll look like they're in cosplay and shit if they have like human heads. You know,
I know.
I don't think it'll work.
It is a tough situation as always.
You know what
It's
we
one
got
of
to
those.
figure out is where they're showing if Tiger Sharks is streaming, because I think it's definitely a good time to brush up on some Tiger Sharks episodes and kind of refresh our memories. Because honestly, I remember watching these cartoons, but I don't remember them as vividly in detail as I did with Thundercats or like even Silverhawks, because this was like the last Rankin Bass like action universe kind of animated series.
Yeah,
So
I think the girl is almost you can completely do the younger girl. She can completely do it because it's really just her head, right? The suit's almost
yeah, she could
completely.
pull it off.
She
Right.
can pull it
She
off.
could pull it off.
Yeah,
The boy,
not really. He's got
if
like
he
an
had a
armor.
completely different torso,
Yeah, he could just swap out his arms, right?
yeah, because it looks like he's still bare legs.
Yeah. I think the Warros. I think kept Professor Warro. I think he could do it. He literally is just wearing the
Walro
suit.
could probably do it. It's just swap out his feet and
Yeah,
his head and his hands.
yeah, that's it. But yeah, you're right. Mako is completely different, like 100%. Like he's a completely different figure, all like through and through.
Mm-hmm.
Dolph, I think Dolph, same thing. It's a real problem.
It's just completely
Octavia, I
different
think.
color. No,
Yeah, no,
you can't do it.
I don't think so.
Walro and the little girl seem to be the only ones
Yeah,
that
they are
could
primed
possibly,
for that
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I totally agree. But Octavia and Dolph, yeah, I don't. Is that Porpo? Who is what's that? What's the porpoise guy? What was his name again?
Which one? The one in blue?
Yeah, the one in blue. This guy here.
I don't know his name.
What's his name again? Can't remember. Somebody in the chat, tell us who his name is.
I was looking up.
Anyway. It's all good.
Let me see.
It's all good. At the end of the day, it's very exciting to see that these characters are coming finally. Huge shout out to Brian Flynn. Now there was a comment in the chat earlier. Do we think we're going to get a crowdfund for the Mirage?
I know Brian said that it's difficult for them to do crowdfunding when they have an IP. So I don't know, man.
He did mention the Mirage is ready. Like he's been talking about it forever. That the fact that they already have one right ready to go.
Right.
I think it definitely needs crowdfund. There's no way you can't like the days of the Thunder Tank where they just announce a Thunder Tank and hope everyone will buy it. Those days are gone. I'm shocked. The way the Thunder Tank was even deployed, I was actually pretty shocked. I was happy, but I was shocked. I don't think the Mirage can be done without a crowdfund, unfortunately. I think that thing definitely needs a crowdfund. Alexander Valdez, the Silverhawks always had some off-duty jumpsuit wearing off-duty jumpsuits that they were wearing. Yeah, that's true. I mean, they basically stripped down back to their knickers. You know what I mean? Like, what's it called? Panthro just wore that one belt. You know what I mean? He was pretty much naked. It was crazy. SA, I like Mom's Tiger Sharks. Mom Tiger Sharks would need separate figures from the transformation. Yeah, it's crazy. It would be very, very difficult otherwise. John for Canada, great character designs. Yes, as always. Greg is in the house. What's going on, Greg? Greetings from San Francisco. Hope you're able to see the Super 7 store before it closed, Greg. Happy 2026. Good to see you guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the timescales if you're into Japanese toys, as well as trips to Japan, and, of course, Doctor Who. Essay. Do you think we'll get the Tiger Sharks tank or the whole ship with the tank in it? It's too early for that. They need to make the figures and concentrate on the figures. Vehicles are like when you know the line's really doing well. That's when you do vehicles. That's when that happens. Essay. Separate that figures from the transformations would be a better option. I agree, but it's an expensive option, right? I wonder if they'll do 2-packs. What do you think, JP? Do you think 2-packs are in the
Nah, dude. Ultimates are $65 right now. You imagine a
well,
2-pack?
what if they do what? But yes, fine. Ultimates are $65, but then what if they do the DX releases at $35 for the humans? I would be down for that. I would be down for that.
Well, that would be a good idea, you know.
I would be down for that. That I think it would be down for sure. Essay.
There's a lot of cool characters. I was looking at images of there's a character called Drench.
I remember
super
Drench.
cool.
Really... If not the Mirage, what other crowdfund would work? I'm not even sure. There are too many more crowdfunds out there for like bigger vehicles and bigger play sets. I mean, the fist pounder is the other thing I'll be totally down for a fist pounder. But can you imagine how big the fist pounder would be, JP? That thing would be gigantic. It would be bigger than the Cat Slayer. The fist pounder?
Yeah.
If they were to make it like in scale with a Thunder Tank, that would be stupid.
Dude, massive.
Massive.
I don't think that's happening.
No,
I think it's more realistic for us to get a nosediver than fist pounder.
I think that's true. I think it's absolutely true. Jordan for Counted timescales. Happy New Year and all year promoting. Absolutely. 100%.
So another thing that's really exciting, which should be shipping soon, is the new wave of Thundercats Ultimates. The Coronation Lino and the and Red Eye.
That would be freaking awesome.
Those were supposed to be shipping this month. So
Those
that's
guys.
going to be exciting to kick off 2026. And
that would be insane.
I have here with me a bunch of stuff that we're going to be giving away next week.
Yep, I was going to mention that. So let's get into that, guys. So guys, in celebration of obviously Thundercats Classics on Instagram, and of course here on Thundercats Cat's Lair, JP has a big announcement to make. JP, take it away, my friend.
All right, guys. So we've been talking about this for quite a while now, and it's really been more of a matter of just waiting for the reinforcements to arrive. I reached out to a lot of partners, Dynamite Comics, Super 7, and they've sent along a lot of nice stuff. And I've also included one of my personal items for the giveaway. So we're going to start off with the more basic stuff. Not basic, I wouldn't say, the non-toy giveaway. So this is going to be, we have exclusive issues and covers of the Thundercats new comic series from Dynamite Comics. This particular one here is a really nice one. This is Thundercats number 3, and this comes with a certificate of authenticity. This is the David Nakayama Blacklight Dynamite comic cover. This is going to go to one lucky follower that's going to be on our stream. I'm going to be making a post on Thundercats Classics with all the instructions. Basically, you're just going to have to like tag a friend, follow, subscribe to Thundercats Lair. And then if you do all that, then you get an entry. If you're a subscriber to Thundercats, where you're a paid subscriber, either with the promo for 49 cents or the 99-cent promo, you automatically get an extra entry into the giveaway, but you still have to be on the live stream to actually qualify to win the prizes. Then I also have some exclusive covers. I got the toy version homage covers. There's one of Snarf. There's one of Tigra. And then we got this other really awesome Nakayama Chitara cover up for grabs. Aside from this, and I don't have it here, we're going to have quite a plethora of Thundercats reaction figures. including Mumra, Lion-O, and maybe even Jaga. So there's going to be at least 3 to 4 different Thundercats reaction figures. And then Super 7 has also kindly sent out a DX edition Chitara figure. This is going to be up for grabs as well. And then last but not least, I wanted to include a nice hefty prize. And I decided to part ways with my personal Mumra the Ever Living Big Bad Toy Store Black and Red edition. This is brand new, sealed in box, and one lucky subscriber to Thundercats Classics here next week will go home with this. So that's the prizes there. I hope everybody's excited. We got a lot of awesome stuff. Still haven't shown the reaction ones, but got probably maybe another 2 or 3 comics. So all in all, I think we're gonna have about 5 or 6 comics, about 3 or 4 reaction figures, the Chitara DX figure, and then this awesome Mumra the Ever Living Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. I think you're mute. You're on mute.
Wow, guys! That is some incredible prizes. Huge shout out to JP for organizing this. So, what are the actual rules, JP? You have to be subscribed to the channels, Thundercats Classics, and here on Thundercats Cat's Lair.
Correct. Yeah. So it's gonna be you're gonna tag, make a comment. I'm gonna probably do a trivia question. Then you're gonna answer the trivia question, tag a friend, like, subscribe to Thundercats Classics, subscribe to Thundercats Lair here on YouTube, and then the day of the live stream, you've got to be on the stream to actually participate and win. So basically, we'll run the names, and if your name gets picked and you're not on the stream, we'll go on to the next.
Yeah, you have to be there to win, unfortunately, guys. But huge shout out to JP. Huge shout out to Dynamite Comics, Super 7, and of course, Big Bad Toy Store. Actually, no, JP himself, because he's donating his own personal version of that figure. So, JP, thank you so much for that. What an incredible giveaway. Full details will be on the post on on Thundercats Classics. We'll also probably do a YouTube post here for the same one, so you can tag, follow on both of those posts, and we hope to see you guys there. Again, you need to be on the live stream when it happens. We'll have full details on the post itself. Best of luck to all you guys. Guys, thank you for hanging out with us this wonderful New Year's recap, and of course, celebration of Thundercats leading into 2026, and of course, the best of Thundercats in 2025. As a final recap, JP, what was your favorite release of 2025 for Thundercats?
Thundercats Lair, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
I have to agree. I think Thundercats Lair, unfortunately, ran away with it completely 100%. But I do have to say a very, 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 very close second has to be that Thundercats Sword of Omens that's hanging right behind JP.
Yes.
That came a very, very close second. But then again, having said that, so many things came a close second. It's really hard. If you were to look for a third, it would be nearly impossible. Mondo Lion-O, Mondo Mumra, Glow in the Dark Lion. Glowing Eyes Lion-O, Glowing Eyes Mumra, Cruncher, Safari Joe, which everybody's waiting for. It's like number 3 would be impossible to choose. It really would be impossible to choose number 3. And then everything else.
No, we definitely got a lot of bangers. We got a lot of awesome figures this year. We got Claudius came out, the Thunderian Guard came out. I mean, there was a lot
Young
of
awesome Young Lion-O, right? So many different crazy characters. The Burbles, which were the completely wrong size. You know what I mean? So many different characters came out this year. It was nuts. And again, you just have to have, at the very least, you got to give a tip of the hat to Super 7 and Brian Flynn for really continuing the keeping the faith, and making these things happen. Because honestly, it is hard to keep something like this line going for as many characters as they have and many figures. And now they're doing re-releases, which is awesome. A lot of people don't like re-releases. I love re-releases. I love the fact that you get a second chance at getting Ghost Jaga at getting Mandora Evil Chaser, at getting, you know, all these crazy characters. And the DX line. Honestly, guys, the DX line is a blessing. You know what I mean? A chance to really get slightly different versions, or if not, just straight re-releases of figures with less accessories. Chitara,
Yeah.
Tigra, which no one could get Tigra. Tigra was fucking, you know, $200 freaking plus. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Right? The fact that we can get another Tigra, insane. So, you know, it's been quite the year, 2025, and I'm so glad that we're finally getting all these wonderful characters in our collection again. I want to thank my good friend JP. JP, how can people reach you? And of course, what have you been working on, my friend?
Working on a lot of stuff, man. Like always, just staying busy. You know, doing stuff for Multuniverse, doing stuff for Bull Airs. Did some stuff for some other companies, and you know, just of course from the realm, it's finally going to happen. I have a feeling, you know, we registered the studio corporation, and we're just moving full steam ahead now. So just waiting for some final quotes, and we're hoping to launch that Kickstarter in this early fourth quarter. So hopefully no later than March. But yeah, super excited about that. Finally getting this long-awaited toy line to customers. Right? Obviously, it's going to be another year before it lands here. But you know, that's something that that's like my New Year's resolution. It's this toy line is coming out this year. So be on the lookout for that from _the_ realm on Instagram. Of course, Thundercats _classics. My art page, JP Arts _studio. And yeah, like, you know, just keeping busy, man. Just keeping those creative juices flowing and coming up with a lot of collaborations. And just to wrap things up, as we said, a lot of big things to look forward to in 2026. One of them is we're going to have our good friend, Mr. Larry Kenny, joining us very soon. We haven't nailed down the date and specifics yet, but keep it locked on Thundercats Classics for more information on that. Our good friends at Dynamite Comics are reached out to me, and we're collaborating to help promote the Thundercats RPG game that is live on Kickstarter right now. On top of that, we're also going to have one of the original writers and producers from the Thundercats series joining us. We're going to have Peter, and Peter Lawrence is very excited to join me. And we're actually going to be doing a Spanish live stream. Peter lives currently in Colombia. He is versed in the Spanish language. And I think that something to give back to the Spanish community is to give them their very own stream. So Peter is very excited to do a live stream with me for the Spanish community. So this is going to be fully in Spanish. And, you know, we got to have our translators on so people can listen in and understand what's being talked about. But that's going to be fully Spanish Q&A we're doing with Peter Lawrence.
Freaking incredible, guys. And be sure to subscribe to the channel to make sure that you don't miss a beat. And of course, hit that like button and that bell notification so you guys will always know when we're posting up new episodes. Everything's exciting happening here at Thundercats Cat's Lair, and of course, Thundercats Classics. Guys, we really appreciate all your love and support. Thank you so much for that. Last comments before we start logging off, everybody. Essay, is G.I. Joe Ultimates dead? Oh, wow. That is still unknown. We never, you know, that's something because we're a Thundercats channel, we didn't ask Brian when we had the opportunity to find that out, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. The last release that they had was the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive releases, and their wave for you know, the variant editions of Baroness, Lady J, and Scarlet. It did not go through, right? It actually did not fund, right? So they didn't get enough minimum orders to make that happen. But that's not to say that hasn't happened before. I mean, there was another one that happened to JP. It was another line where they couldn't make the minimum requirement. I can't remember which one it was now. But yeah, it's
Oh,
and
the
you know what?
giant Cobra vehicle. The giant Cobra vehicle.
Yes, there was no that was a crowdfund, but it was the other one. It was another line. I think it was another Ultimates line. I can't remember which one it was. It wasn't.
Dungeons and
It wasn't sure.
Dragons.
Was it Dungeon and Dragons? Because Dungeon and Dragons
Yeah.
hasn't actually had which one? Which one?
The Dungeons
Because
and Dragons animated.
no. They haven't even announced Wave 2 yet.
Oh, you're
Dungeon,
talking, yes, the Dungeons and Dragons, um, the RPG version
oh
where they
yes, the
did a
reaction.
Vecna.
Yes, you're right. You're right. The reaction lines, and things like that. Yes, yeah, they did not. They did not. Yeah, it didn't go. It didn't go through. Yeah. So if you want these figures, guys, you have to support them. That's really what it is. We have to support the line for all of these, because if they don't get their minimum quantity order from Super 7, then they don't publish them. So, but yeah, looking forward to the new releases for Thundercats in 2026. Unfortunately, GI Joe, it's hard to say. After that last pre-order that did not go through, it really is hard to say whether or not they're going to continue with that line, which is sad. But they did a pretty good run of it. You know what? They got the army builders out, they got the Crimson Guards, they got these things. You know, and it's a really good line right now. Unreal 83. Ooh. And Brian is in the house. What's going on, Brian? Good to see Endless Fables in the house.
What's up,
We hang out with Brian as much as we can whenever we are able to see him.
Happy
Kid
New
Chuckle's
Year,
in the house.
Brian.
What's going on, Kid Chuckle? Good to see you, brother. What's up, Jay and JP?
Happy New Year to you too, man.
SA.
Predictions for 2026. Well, I can tell you this. I ran a poll on Thundercats Classics for the most wanted Thundercats Ultimates villain. And the winner was surprising to me. It's a great choice, but it surprised me that he won over other selections. So the winner was Mumra in the Excalibur armor.
Yes.
For some reason, everybody's ecstatic about getting that figure. I was surprised that Demolisher didn't make the cut, because basically I did 9 characters, and I broke it down to three finalist categories, and the finalists were the Pig King from one of the episodes. It was the Pig King, it was Plutar, and the Mumra and Excalibur armor. And I was surprised. Mumra destroyed everybody else, and there was like upwards of 500 votes for that thing. So, you know, I have a feeling Mumra and Excalibur armor might be one that we see this year. I really hope we see Demolisher, and a really out there character that I would love to see in 2026 is the Caveman. I would love to see the Caveman that arm wrestled Lion-O, dude.
That would be neat, especially since, if memory serves, they probably could. You know what? They probably could just reuse a few things from Ular. You know what I mean? That because that might, or one of the Conan figures. It wouldn't be so hard. You know what I mean? Like that's not a difficult character to make. So yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, for sure. Lionel from Thundera. I'm ready for the outro. Ho! All the best, JP and Jay, on your endeavors. Thank you so much, Lino. Really appreciate it. Thanks for always supporting the channel. Jordan from Canada. That's incredible, JP, and very exciting. They'd be lucky to have you aboard on that game. He is aboard. He is aboard, which would be awesome. All right, guys. We want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Happy New Year to everybody. It's going to be another wonderful new year for Thundercats in 2026. Yes. JP, shall we send them off with a Thunder?
Thunder.
Oh,
Miguel Bayon. Thunder. Thundercats. Ho!
There we go, everybody. We're a little lag, but it's okay. We did it right this time. We did it right.
You know what we got to do? Eventually, we got to work on the effects so that when we do the Thundercats, our eyes glow.
That would be sick. Miguel Bayon is in the house. Good to see you, Miguel. Always good to see
All right,
the
guys. Happy New Year
comics.
and super excited for the rest of the year. Remember to tune in next week to be able to win one of these awesome prizes that were just revealed. And spread the word. Subscribe to Thundercats Slayer today. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming your way, guys. See you next week.
Absolutely. Take care, guys.